It is easy to hear the word tariff and immediately think problem. Higher costs, more restrictions, tighter margins. But what if the very thing that seems like a financial chokehold could actually be a ladder? What if tariffs, instead of being an obstacle, became a tool you could leverage to reposition your business, dominate your niche, and grow beyond borders? Because here's the truth most people miss. While tariffs cause many businesses to panic, the prepared entrepreneur sees them as a strategic inflection point. In 2025, global trade tensions, shifting political alliances, and changing regulations have altered how goods move across borders. But for smart operators, especially small businesses willing to think differently, this is not the time to retreat. It is the time to get creative, go lean, go local, and grow strong. In this video, we will explore how you can use the current tariff landscape to your advantage and build a business that thrives, not despite global uncertainty, but because of it. What they are and why they matter more in 2025, let us start with the basics. Tariffs are taxes imposed on imported goods. Governments use them to protect domestic industries, raise revenue, or influence trade relationships. In theory, when tariffs go up, foreign products become more expensive, encouraging consumers to buy locally made alternatives. In practice, though, tariffs are like a hidden cost that ripple across supply chains. When steel gets more expensive due to tariffs, it affects everything from automotive parts to appliances. When agricultural tariffs rise, it impacts food manufacturers and retailers. In 2025, tariffs have taken center stage again due to rising protectionism and a renewed focus on domestic manufacturing. The United States has restructured its trade policies with China, the European Union, and Latin America. Tariffs on semiconductors, EV components, pharmaceuticals, and even textiles have shifted. For a small business that relies on imported materials, this can feel like an existential threat, but here is where things get interesting. If you understand these changes before your competitors do, you can reposition your strategy, find domestic alternatives, secure new supplier relationships, or enter markets others are leaving behind. This is not about avoiding impact. It is about learning to dance with the disruption. Where small businesses can win, the first place to look for opportunity is where big businesses pull back. When tariffs make certain imports too expensive, many large corporations will scale down operations, delay production, or seek cost-cutting elsewhere. That creates a vacuum. Smaller businesses, being more agile, can often pivot more quickly. For instance, if tariffs on overseas apparel spike, local clothing manufacturers may suddenly see demand surge. If tariffs hit imported raw materials, a domestic supplier of alternatives might suddenly be in high demand. Smart businesses in 2025 are scanning the landscape and asking, what is now too expensive to import, and how can I become the local answer? But it goes even deeper. Tariffs can disrupt the pricing parity of e-commerce. If foreign sellers on platforms like Amazon or Shopify suddenly face higher duties, your domestic product might become more competitively priced, even if you were once the more expensive option. You do not even have to lower your price to win. The playing field shifts in your favor. That is a hidden advantage you can capitalize on if you are paying attention. A strategy, not just a reaction. Reshoring, the process of bringing manufacturing back to your home country, is more than a patriotic soundbite in 2025. It is a calculated move that gives small businesses more control. Tariffs often increase lead times and reduce predictability in global supply chains. That unpredictability can kill momentum in any growing business. By building local supplier relationships or investing in domestic manufacturing partnerships, you reduce exposure to international policy shifts. Even if local production costs slightly more on paper, the stability, speed, and strategic control can more than make up for it. And here is something many businesses overlook: customers in 2025 are paying more attention to origin. Made in USA is not just a label, it is a selling point. You can position your product as more reliable, more ethical, or more supportive of the local economy. When you shift to local sourcing, you gain marketing leverage and reduce operational headaches. The key is to do it proactively, not reactively. Do not wait for a tariff crisis to disrupt your business. Start building relationships now that protect you from tomorrow's uncertainties. Create new product lines for tariff Affected niches. Here is a counterintuitive strategy most small businesses miss. Use tariffs to inspire entirely new offerings. Think about this. If your competitors are struggling with high costs due to a tariff on their imported product, what if you could design a similar but tariff-free alternative? Let us say a popular home good that was once imported from Asia is now prohibitively expensive. If you can source similar materials locally or build a creative variation that does not fall under the same tariff classification, you suddenly have a product with reduced competition and a margin advantage. That is not just survival. That is smart offensive strategy. You can even brand the product around the disruption. Built better, tariff-free, or designed to outlast the trade war. Your marketing can become bold and confident because you are not just reacting. You are building forward. Tariffs are not static. They change with politics. But if you build agility into your product development cycle, you can stay one step ahead of the disruption curve. Join or form local supply alliances and buying cooperatives. Individually, small businesses often feel powerless, but collectively, they can become formidable. One emerging trend in 2025 is the rise of regional supply alliances. These are local networks of manufacturers, logistics firms, and retailers who come together to pool resources and reduce dependence on volatile international markets. As a small business, joining such a group can give you access to better bulk pricing, faster turnaround times, and shared intelligence about tariff impacts. You can even collaborate on domestic production runs, reducing overhead costs and shortening lead times. Buying cooperatives are especially powerful if you need raw materials that are still partially imported. By banding together with others, you can negotiate better deals, avoid panic pricing, and even influence how importers prioritize your orders. Do not think you need to fight the tariff war alone. Reach out, form partnerships. This is the era of strategic collaboration, not lone wolf competition. How to talk to your customers about tariffs without scaring them. Transparency is essential, but panic is poison. Your customers do not need a geopolitical lesson every time they buy from you, but they do need to understand the value you provide, especially when pricing changes. If tariffs force you to raise prices or tweak offerings, frame it in terms of quality, reliability, and local support. Due to global trade shifts, we have transitioned to premium local materials to ensure faster delivery and better performance. That sounds far more empowering than prices are up because of tariffs. You want your customers to feel like they are part of a smarter, more resilient movement, not just paying more for less. This is also an opportunity to turn education into loyalty. A simple blog post or email newsletter explaining how your business is navigating global trade could elevate you in your customers' minds. They will not just see you as a vendor, they will see you as a leader. And in uncertain times, people follow leaders. Build a tariff watch list and get ahead of the curve. You do not need to be a policy expert, but you do need to monitor the horizon. Set up a simple tariff watch list. Track your key imported materials, your country's top trading partners, and any ongoing trade negotiations. Government websites, trade associations, and industry news can help. The goal is not to become reactive after a tariff hits. It is to anticipate and prepare before it does. If you can see a potential tariff coming 3 months out, that is 3 months to renegotiate with suppliers, lock in alternative deals, or adjust your pricing model. Every big change leaves clues. Pay attention to the clues, and you will never be caught off guard. And if you are serious about not just surviving but dominating in this economic climate, you know what to do. Keep learning, keep building, and do not forget to watch the next video that shows you how to leverage tax credits to offset your cost structure and double down on profitability. Because tariffs may be out of your control, but your strategy never is.